I sung my first song here at this church, my very first song. My mama told me when I learned the song, she was singing with me. And I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. And I wanted to sing that song with my mom.
All right, so we are here today with Mr. John Thorpe, legendary gospel artist from Person County. And so we just want to talk to you today about your life, the things that you've experienced, the many things that you've been involved in, and your commitment even today to your home church of New Hope Person Baptist Church. So the first question, Mr. Thorpe, that we want to ask you is, tell us about your upbringing in this community.
Well, Doc, I was born and raised pretty much here in Person County, and this is the home church. This is my mother and father's church. This is our home church, and we was brought up here. Didn't know anything else. This was just it. We didn't have an opportunity to make a decision where we was going to go on Sunday morning. You came here. You was coming here. That's without a doubt. And so couldn't stay in bed, couldn't do all that stuff. So we grew up right here at Person County, right here in New Hope. The church have changed quite a bit over the years. I've seen it change. And but I'm glad to say that the standards of the church is still the same. New Hope Person Missionary Baptist Church is still the same. Pastors have changed, but it's still the same. And I just enjoy it. It's my life. It was just a great time here. I actually lived with my grandma for 4 years old. From 4 years old until like 13, I lived with my grandma. And we only lived about 3 miles from this church right now. I can remember walking to this church, walking to church. I remember Grandma had to, it was all dirt road then outside. Grandma would dust my shoes off to come into church. And sometimes people would pick us up on the way. It was a great experience. People don't believe that actually happened to me since I'm so young, but I can remember that. I can actually remember pot-belly stove sitting in the floor, and the pipe would run all the way across the church out of a window. The stove in the wintertime, it fired up. Deacons would be going, putting wood in it and all that stuff. And it was still a great experience. It was something that I can tell you, I could tell my kids, I told them already. And wasn't any carpet on the floor. It was a church pew that was in the old church. My father brought it home when they put new pews in. My father brought that old church pew home, and we used to sit on it for years and years. And it was a great time growing up here. Mama was like the Sunday school teacher and sung in the choir. People knew her from her singing, knew her from her personality. She was just, she had a different kind of spirit, I never heard my mama cuss. And therefore I grew up not letting her hear me curse. I never said bad words in front of my mom. And so that grew up in me. And so I'm one of those guys that say, I don't curse. That's not my thing. If I got to do all that, I'd rather not talk to you. I'd rather move on, talk to somebody else. So that's just me. But that's the way kind of like what mama was, So I hate to say it, but I'm a mama's boy. I have my daddy's size, and people say I even look like him, but I have my mama's heart. And so And for years, I never wanted that because Mama was soft, and I wanted to be tough. You know how you want to be tough. I wanted to be tough. I'm 6'4". I want to be tough, and you know, I learned to adapt, and a lot of times my size deterred people from doing some of the things they probably would have done, and I didn't have to come out of no bag. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to cry. You know, it just didn't happen. And so it was great. It's been a great experience. Attended Person County High School. I went there to the 9th grade. And then we moved to Durham County, just across the county line, just across the Durham County line, the Person County line, the Durham County, and went to Northern. And I got to do a few more little things going there than I did because I was getting older, moving to Durham County. And so, but we still came to this church. And so that was my growing up experience, working in the tobacco, and looked like the older I got, the more tobacco Daddy planted. It's just everywhere, all over the country down around here, Person County, Orange County, Durham County, we had tobacco everywhere, all over the place. I was like, Lord, if I ever get big, if I ever get grown, I'm not smoking. I ain't gonna smoke no tobacco. I ain't gonna do nothing with no tobacco if I ever get grown. And but it was great. It was great. My experience hanging out with my daddy. I was my daddy's right hand. When you saw my daddy, you saw me. I was always in the truck, and the other guys was in the field. I'll be with my daddy. So that was kind of funny. But just so much stuff I could tell about that stuff. And wouldn't even have time enough to tell it all. Because I had a great growing up childhood. Dad and Mama was always there. You know, they was always there. And it was fun. It was fun. 14 brothers and sisters. It was 13 brothers and sisters. I would make the 14th one. And everybody knew Daddy was Daddy. Everybody.